When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome to the Door to Door Racing League on Maconi Entertainment, and once again, we're back on a road course. Last week it was Chicago, and this week the drivers of the Door to Door Racing League are at Sonoma for a 72 lap race around this historic road course, and we'll have all of it right here on Maconi Entertainment. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth by Jeremy Briggs. Christian Hill is our producer tonight. Jeremy, Sonoma is a ton of fun. Tell us a little bit about this racetrack.
Well, Sonoma is an extremely different track than most, different than Watkins Glen. I feel this track is a very technical track because you're going to go up the hill, you're going to race up the hill, and you're going to race back down the hill all the way to turn 11. There's a couple passing zones, and there's a couple zones where there's a lot of give and take going to be needed here tonight. And I do see right now the track temperature is up quite a bit, so we'll have to see how these drivers navigate these slick turns.
That we will. It is 107 on the track right now. We're heading through qualifying at the moment. We're going to give you a quick glimpse here at the schedule for the Door to Door Racing League. Here we are at Sonoma. It is July 13th. You see it there. We were at Chicago last week. We pretty much follow the schedule of the real-life NASCAR Cup Series in this league. So we'll be going to Dover, Sonoma, Iowa here over the next few weeks before finishing out August at Watkins Glen, Richmond, Daytona, Darlington, and then you've got that Phoenix Championship race like so many series have and like we have in real life. It's been a pretty good season here so far in the Door to Door Cup Series. Just a quick look at the points. At right now, your points leader is Trevor Baxter, who has been dominant. In our 19 races, he's won 9 of them, including 15 of his starts this season. He has been on it since the drop of the green flag at Daytona. Second place, Daniel Best in the one of the car numbers, on that. Daniel Best is in the 5 car tonight. Stephen Bird in 3rd. Michael Reeves 4th. Danny Carpenter 5th. They're all separated by only 1 or 3 points here in the point standings. Joshua Hyatt is 6th. Thomas Freeman 7th. Nathaniel Pollard, Ronald Judd, Hugh Brown are your top 10. Back from there, Thomas Hegland, Joshua Switzer, William Lark, James Nesta, Bradley Knopsnyder, and Brian Wasserman. 11th through 16th, Wasserman is the cut line. Right back behind him, you have Joshua Sanchez, Corey Adkins, Roland Collette, and William Hewitt trying to jump their way up into the top 16. And one spot back of them in 21st, you have Alan Duggar, who's only made 4 starts but has 2 wins. He's the only driver other than Trevor Baxter to win a race this season, and he is in the field tonight, and he's been pretty fast. He was the 3rd fastest car in practice. We're about halfway through qualifying. He's the 2nd fastest car here. Watch out for Alan Duggar again tonight if he can beat the 12 of Trevor Baxter.
I think that's going to be the name of the game tonight, beating Trevor Baxter. Right now his qualifying time is almost a half a second faster than the field. We'll have to see how that plays out with quite a few more cars still left to qualify here in this round, running out in about 3 minutes. These drivers are putting it all out on the line. As you look at, I believe this is a newcomer here tonight, Paul Denning.
Paul Nino behind the wheel of that 150 car, one of our newer drivers in the field. I do not believe we've seen him here at any point in the season. No, we have not. He is not listed in the point standings at the moment. And yeah, we're about halfway through qualifying here of the drivers who have gone. We have a 21 car field tonight here at Sonoma. And right now it is looking like your pole will be your 9-time race winner, Trevor Baxter, in that 12 car. Alan Duggar currently sitting third. Roland Collette currently sitting in P4. A couple cars like Paul Danino still making their qualifying laps here. Then got some more cars further back in the field. Guys like Thomas Freeman, Thomas Hegland, Chris Chavez-Asari, Joshua Hyatt, who have not made a qualifying lap, and I do not believe they will make a qualifying lap. One thing to note tonight, it is windy out here. The wind is blowing from the southwest at 15 miles an hour. That could throw the balance of these cars off a little bit here tonight. Got to keep that in mind for later on in this race. Running 72 laps tonight.
72 laps is going to be the distance tonight. We're going to have 2 stages at lap 15 and lap 32. Well, a great field of cars tonight. This is going to be an awesome example of how great this league is. They're definitely going to be door to door. We've got 13 cars taking time. Looks like we got about almost 20 here tonight.
Yeah, pretty good field here for tonight's race at Sonoma. There's only about a minute left in qualifying, and I don't think any of the drivers who have not set a lap are going to set a lap here tonight. So the drivers who will not take a time in qualifying will be Joshua Hyatt, William Hewitt, Brian Wasserman, Chris Chavez-Essery, Thomas Freeman, Thomas Hegland, Mike Wambold, and Joshua Switzer. Those are the drivers who are going to start from the rear end of the field tonight. And we will see how this turns out. 40 seconds left in qualifying here, and let's just see if anyone's on the track. Yeah, one car moving down. That's Paul Danino. He's 11th right now out of the 13 who have taken a lap, and this lap will not count because he is all the way off in the grass down there in the turn 10. So this is going to be not a lap that counts for his lap time, but it will be a lap that counts just as a little practice for this 150 car in his door-to-door debut here. And yeah, will not be any faster, so he will take the 1:17.576 that he had on lap 1. Qualifying is expiring here, and we are going to get ready in just a few seconds to get the grid up for tonight's race as these drivers move from the qualifying session into the grid. We're going to show you the grid on pole tonight. As you might expect in the 12 car, it's Trevor Baxter taking home P1. Alan Duggar will start P2. Your only multi-time winners this season, both on the front row. Roland Collette rolls off third tonight. Billy Brickley will go from P4. Joshua Sanchez starts in 5th with Ryan Steinhoff on his outside in P6. P7, Michael Kurgelek rolls off 7th. Daniel Best goes from 8th. And 9th will be James Nesto with 10th, Danny Carpenter.
Just outside the top 10, making, like we said, his debut tonight in the 150 is Paul Danino. In the 12th starting position, the 00 of Michael Reeves. 13th starting position, the number 26 of Stephen Bird. 14th starting position, I believe that is race control of Mike Wamble. 15th starting position, got the number 4 of Chris Chavez-Essery. 16th starting spot, got the number 11 of William Hewitt. 17th starting position, you got the number 99 of Thomas Hegland. 18th, starting spot, you got the 6 of Joshua Switzer. 19th, number 2, Joshua Hyatt. 20th goes to 57 of Wasserman. And 21st, Thomas Freeman.
And we're going to do a full pace lap here at Sonoma for tonight's race. Going to have 2 stages as well. Stages will fall on lap 15 and lap 32, and I do believe we are going to get a caution with those stages tonight, so we will have 2 guaranteed cautions built in for tonight's race. It'll be a 72 incident point limit here. 68 gets you a penalty, so I have to imagine we are not going to see anybody hit that because that would take about 1 incident point a lap. But We'll keep an eye on if anyone gets close to it here over the course of tonight's race. Fuel load, 85%. Should be enough to get you through the first couple stages pretty comfortably. Not so much. Stage 3. 5 tire sets available. 1 on the car. 4 in the pits. And that is going to be kind of our race strategy here for tonight. You're going to come down. You're going to pit on the stages 15 and 32. And then there will be another pit stop in the middle of stage 3 for your race tonight. As we head down to turns 3 and 4, is there anywhere you're watching on this track, Jeremy, that might provide some problems for these drivers later tonight?
Like we were talking about that earlier in the broadcast, there was only a couple real good passing zones and a few spots on track where there's got to be a lot of give and take. You can see right there, one of those turns is going to be a turn 11 when we come to the start finish line. Each and every time we'll have to see who dive bombs it into there every single time. This turn right here is another one right here. You can see on the broadcast now, another turn for opportunities. And this is a spot right here through the S's. We're going to want to get single file real quick because a lot can happen.
That you are. We're going to head down the hill here through these S's. We'll slip through that really interesting turn 10. It's not a spot where you're going to see any passes done tonight. It's the next corner up right here after this one. It's not a spot where you're going to see any passes made in turn 10. It is a spot where you are going to see cars just go flying off the track at points tonight. This is a problem spot in this track, in this car. You see it right there. Doesn't look like much, but when you're approaching that corner at 130, it can be really easy to just slide the car, slip out of shape there, and you need everything you can in that corner to make the run work down into the carousel. The pace car is off as we head through the hairpin. It'll be Trevor Baxter and it'll be Alan Duggar on the front row. We'll curve it back left on the front straightaway, and the green flag will fly here at Sonoma.
Green flag in the air. You can see the cars barreling into turns 1, 2, and 3. They're going to be side by side there for the lead. Trevor Baxter, gets a little loose in front of the 15 of Duggar. Duggar gets loose as well. Put the 9 of Roland Collette into second spot.
Cars making moves up through the field early. This is the time to do it when everyone is so close together. Way off road back there. That's Daniel Best in the 5 car. And he's able to keep it straight, keep it out of trouble as he works on the outside of the 28 of Danny Carpenter. He'll have to give that spot up. The 5 of Daniel Best slides back to 10th in the early going of this race. He's got the 00 of Michael Reeves trying to make some progress there behind us. We're all going to slink single file down through the S's. This is not a passing zone, but as I said earlier, this is a mistake zone. You can really open yourself up with a move down into the carousel here with a bad turn 9, a bad turn 10. Everyone looks like they get through it pretty cleanly here, and we stay green through lap 1.
Lap 1, give it to Trevor Baxter, dominant driver here in the Door Racing League. Each and every week that he has been in, doing the best he can to stay up front. That was a pretty hairy start there at the beginning for Trevor, but Roland Collette capitalizes big time, finds himself there in second. Duggar third, Sanchez fourth, and Billy Brinkley rounding out our top 5.
Billy Brinkley, another new driver here in this series in that 69 car. Haven't seen much from him this year. He only has 1 start in the Door Racing League, and that was last week at Chicago, so only his 2nd race here, as we're going to try to go side by side between Brinkley and Steinhoff down here into what they call turn 7. Brinkley is going to hold him off for now, but that 74 car, Ryan Steinhoff, is looking. He's got Michael Kurgelak right behind him as well in that 41 car, and he's going a little wide down here through the S's. Almost ran off the track by Steinhoff. Everybody keeps it straight, but a scary moment there for those 2 cars.
Steinhoff went off the track there. I believe that might have been an 8, turn 8. Michael Kurgelak capitalizes, finds himself there in 6th. Close moment for those drivers. Name of the game, like we said, going to have to be smooth and fast. The least amount of mistakes will win tonight's race.
That it will. You can't have a mistake out here at Chicago, or else you will, or not at Chicago, excuse me. Chicago was last week, at Sonoma, or else you will get caught out, and it might bring an end to your race if you aren't careful. Alan Duggar sits in second. He was your winner last week at Chicago. That's what was on the mind. He started second. He's gone back to third, with Roland Collette there in the 9, getting around that 15 car. He'll try to make his way back up to P2 and hopefully back up to the lead for him so he can pull out a win tonight, just like he did last week. We're single file all throughout the field, but haven't seen many accidents so far. This has been quite a clean race in the early going. Everybody's still holding on to these cars, trying to get a little bit of a feel here at Sonoma.
Looking further throughout the pack here, looks like we got Danino and Switzer side by side here for 14th, 15th, and 16th with Freeman in the picture.
Yeah, they were going side by side down through the S's. That does not often work, but Switzer and Danino both made it work.
Switzer off the track, I believe.
Yes, he is. Joshua Switzer off the track from P14. Big moment there for that 6 car. He'll lose 2 spots. And he might get one back because he and Danino have both gone way wide, and that'll promote the 17 of Thomas Freeman up 2 positions there in that sequence of corners. He runs it well on the inside. You've got Chris Chavez-Asari going in 4th right now. He's trying to look up the outside of Joshua Hyatt here, and he'll get that spot pretty comfortably down into turn 1. Big move for that Hunt Brothers 4 car.
Big moves coming out through the track. Looks like the tires are getting up the temperature as Michael Reeves in a 00. Tries to drive it a little bit off the line there and keep momentum built. Stephen Bird, I believe that's the Bird Automotive Machine. Number 26, white right there behind him. You can see riding on board with him, stalking that 00 of Reeves. This is for 12th and 13th.
That it is. Good battles going on all over the track. Bit of a lockup there from the 22 car of Joshua Sanchez, and that'll open the door up the inside to the 69 of Billy Brickley. He's not quite able to get him off of the hairpin, so he'll re-rack and try to get something going down into turn 1. He's got Kurjalak 1 spot behind him as well in this battle. As big move back here further in the field. Chavez-Asari had something happen earlier in this race. He had a bad lap, so I think he might have spun it, went back to 18th. He's already diced that car back up to 15th. Could be a car to watch as he drives through this field at the moment. Brickley falling back a little bit from Joshua Sanchez there in 4th, and it's a big gap ahead of that 22 car as he is loose out of turn 4. But Brickley not able to pounce just yet. Well, he's going to try to. Into the back of the 22. Doesn't work.
Ghost moment there for the number 69 of Billy Brickley, but does a great job of checking up and not getting into the back bumper of that number 22 of Sanchez. It's one thing I've really enjoyed about being a part of this broadcast with Door to Door. There's so much give and take. A lot of awesome green flag racing throughout the season. As you can see there, as Brickley did a great job of winning Sanchez. Like I said, going to re-rack it, try to get back into a rhythm, try to get it all put back together, get a clean pass. And this 22 is he has a really good exit off of 11 to the start-finish line.
Sanchez has Brickley right back on his bumper. It seems like that 69 car is a little slower in the uphill sections, right about to turn 7 or so, but in the downhill he really comes alive, and the 22 is going to get a little wide, runs it off through the dirt there, and the door is open for Billy Brickley to try to get a move going through turn 3, and he'll get it done. Not only will he get it done, but now Kurjalak is going to try to take advantage here of Sanchez being on the back foot. He will not be able to get that move done, so it'll be Brickley 4th, Sanchez 5th, Kurjalak P6, but he is still looking for the spot as Brickley locks it up, and Sanchez is going to get into him as he spins out. That is Brickley hard into the inside wall down through the S's.
I think, fortunately for Billy Brickley here, that's going to be all just rear end contact. I believe that just the left rear bumper, maybe the only place for damage. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, this is going to be mostly a rear end impact, but that can still have pretty consequential effects on your aero here at Sonoma. He just loses it off the corner. Just gets a little bit onto the grass there and can't hold on to the car. Oh, Kerjalak is around in the hairpin. He hit the tire barrier.
Yeah.
He hit a tire stack on the inside, and your 5th place runner is around in front of a bunch of cars. He'll drop back to 10th, trying to get this thing sorted back out.
Yes, that number 41 butt kicker machine of Kerjalak had a slight issue there in turn 11. Let's take a look at this replay. Going through turn 11, hugging those tires, hugging them way too much. Just clips that third to last stack there, and has to back it up and regroup it. We'll have to check on the damage and see if there's any of it. Looks okay. Might have just caught it with the rear.
Yeah, just caught it there with the back end. Again, it's not going to really slow him down too much, but it will be a little bit of aero damage, and I think he'll definitely want to get that fixed on the next pit stop to avoid just some slower lap times. Kerjalak, we know he's got a lot of speed right now. He was running in the top 5 prior to that happening. You're going to hope he can hold on to it here, get that car fixed at some point in this race so he can not have to deal with that damage anymore at the moment. Closest battle right now is looking to be the one for P13 as Chris Chavez-Essery has caught back up to William Hewitt on his drive back through the field in that 4 car after an early moment for Chavez-Essery. Not quite close enough to William Hewitt to make that move yet, but Hewitt will lock it up and miss the corner, and that will put Essery close enough to make the move. He's through for P13.
William Hewitt making it kind of easy there for Essery and that number 4 machine. Taking a look up front though, let's take a quick chat about Trevor Baxter. Up to a 3-second lead.
Sorry, you're good. Daniel Best nearly spun it, but he kept it straight.
Oh, good. Trevor Baxter actually was 0.2 slower than Collette that last lap, and Duggar was a little bit faster than both of them. Just keep an eye on that battle up front as we're looking at that battle for 10th. You can see that as very close.
Oh, Hewitt's off track. Big moment there for William Hewitt. Same thing Best did, nearly spun it, but he kept it straight. This is the battle for 2nd, like you said. You've got this is actually Danny Carpenter. We're showing the battle for 2nd on the bottom. This is Danny Carpenter in the 28, Michael Reeves in the 00, Daniel Best in the 5 right there on your screen in this battle for P9. We'll see if Carpenter is able to get around that 5 car of Daniel Best here. He's got the inside down into the carousel. That should be what he needs, and he does. Good move for Danny Carpenter up the inside of Daniel Best. He'll take P9 away, but the 5 is going to try to fight back.
Right back is that 5 of Best. You can see him back up into turn number 1, trying to overdrive it. Reeves not going to be over his back bumper. This is a battle for that last and final stage point here in stage 1.
Tight battle here between these 2 drivers. You've got to make sure you keep it straight here, or else you could get not just no stage points, but no points in general, because you could finish all the way at the back of the field here with a scary moment. As, almost one right there. As I say scary moment, talk about Michael Reeves having one out of turn 4. That'll open him up to Chavez-Essery. Quick driver here earlier in this race. He was 18th not long ago. Already got that car up to 12th. Trying to wheel down Stephen Bird as Daniel Best has potentially had a moment. Yes, he has. He's in the pits. He crashed out.
Oh, Daniel Best, our 2nd place in points. Was a big moment. Let's take a look at that replay here.
He went head on into a tire barrier.
Okay.
That is a nasty, nasty hit for the 10 car, for the 5 car, Daniel Best running in.
Got loose.
He caught the curbs too much and head on into that.
Oh, man.
Engine was toast. Like I said, if you fight a little too hard for that last spot in stage points, you might get no points. Daniel Best done for the night on lap 10.
I was just getting ready to say there too, right before that big moment, this number 4 car, even in traffic, really close lap times to our leaders.
Yeah, he's moving into the back of Bird there, getting all into the rear end of Stephen Bird. He's way faster in that 4 car, and he is straight through in turn 4, and that'll open the door for Michael Reeves as well, as Bird is forced a little wide there. So
Bird
two
said he could
drop
have
spots. Yeah, 2 drop spots in one corner there for Stephen Bird, Asari, and Reeves, both getting through. You said it. That 4 car is a threat once he's got no traffic in front of him, because he's running some really good lap times right now. He'll get a caution at that stage break. He'll get the close back in and see what he can do in the latter part of this race. I think he has maybe a top 5 car there in that 4 machine.
I think Trevor Baxter might be messing with us a little bit there. Fell off the pace. The Duggar machine closed in to within 2 seconds, and now Baxter just let the switch and just drove away once again.
Yep, some issues for, I was going to say some issues for Thomas Hageland. He almost hit the wall there trying to get some lap cars through, but he is all good. 1 lap down, first car lapped is that 99 car. Shouldn't have anybody else lapped before the end of this stage. Switzer and Hyatt both seem to be far enough ahead of these leaders that it'll probably take until stage 3 for them to go a lap down. Barring an incident at the moment, Chavez Essery is on the move, trying to get up to Danny Carpenter in that 28 car here. He's got that gap at about a second at the present moment. James Nesta has had an issue. He was running P6, and he's gone off track and lost about 2 spots.
The number 29 machine back here in 8th spot now. James Nesta with Door to Door League Racing League right on the side of it. He said having a moment at some point.
He's in the S's, yeah. He just kind of got loose heading down through, I believe it was turn 8. Caught himself, but went pretty far through the grass there and lost 2 positions. So a scary moment for James Nesta, but all is well and good. And only lose 2 spots. Could have been a lot worse for the driver of that 29 car as it runs.
Has a 5-second gap over the car behind him. That's Danny Carpenter. Carpenter maybe getting pressure soon from that number 4 machine though. On the move is definitely Charles Chavez Esseray. Take a look at the rest of the top 5. Everybody just kind of hanging out. Trevor Baxter with a 2/10 a lap faster right now.
Closest battle on track is going to once again be Chris Chavez Essery, because he's already gotten that gap down to almost nothing when Danny Carpenter ran 2.5 seconds faster than that 28 car last time. Chavez Essery was the 4th fastest car on the racetrack, only slower than your top 3 of Baxter, Duggar, and Collette. So the 4 car is going to be moving. He's not going to have many more cars he can pass. In fact, I think Danny Carpenter is the last car he's going to be able to pass before the end of the stage, barring an incident. But if we get that stage caution here moving into stage 2, that could be huge for Chavez Essery, and that could allow him to fight his way back into the top 5 after not taking qualifying time and starting out back in 15th tonight. He's already your biggest mover, +5, tied with Thomas Freeman in the 17, who's gone 20 to 15.
Taking a look through the field, nobody decided with pit road getting ready to close to do any type of strategy. Looks like everybody stayed on the track. It looks like Danino went down pit road, but I'm not sure if that's just an error on my screen or not. Looks like Daniel Best, like we said, is done for the night.
Yeah, I do not believe he came
Stage is
down
winding
the road.
up.
I think we're all good.
Okay.
For Danino. So no pit stops there, like you said. That is going to be pretty interesting here, because it means that everybody's going to be on the same strategy, and we got a battle for 4th. Steinhoff had to let off a little bit there to avoid getting in the back of Sanchez, who locks it up anyway, and Steinhoff is in great position to jump as the 22 of Joshua Sanchez puts himself in the fence there, and Ryan Steinhoff moves through to P4. Good move there for the driver of that 74 car.
I think that was the end of the stage as well.
Still trying to go. Oh, big car off the track. 99 of Thomas Hageland. Bad to worse for him. He was already a lap down. It's not getting any better for the driver of that 99 car.
Just trying to limp it around here, I believe, tonight. Oh, trying to stay out of the way. You see all the debris coming off his tires. With the stage caution, might be coming up this lap. Oh, no, next lap. We're almost there. Oh, was that a little contact there here between the 22 of Sanchez and Steinhoff? I believe it was. The 74 is sideways and going to lose all that track position.
Yeah, that should be the battle for the stage here for P4. Steinhoff lost 2.5 seconds. just got majorly loose out of that corner after getting past, and he wasn't able to put the power down, get back on the throttle, and get back to Joshua Sanchez. The caution for the stage should come out in after this lap. We had stage crosses at Chicago. I believe we're having them again here. Chavez Essery is still hounding Danny Carpenter for P9. It's one extra stage point there for the driver of the 4. And as a driver who only came into this series a few races ago, hasn't gotten a lot of chance to get points. And as the 28 goes off-roading, Chavez Essery is there. Big lockup for Danny Carpenter, and Chris is through for P9 here in stage 1, and I believe that is where he will end the stage.
Looks like Carpenter sent it in a little too hard there. I believe that would have been the yellow. We'll take a look at it. Maybe we're doing the one.
I think we're gonna go through the full lap here and also allow a lot of these cars some time to get back on the track. Oh, James Nestor, excuse me, not James Nesta. Thought it was James Nesta. It was a lap car in front of Chavez Essery. It was Thomas Hegland again. And there goes the stage caution as everybody has crossed the start-finish line. Joshua Hyatt was the last car through. And at the end of stage 1, Trevor Baxter will be your stage 1 winner. Getting stage points will be Alan Duggar, Roland Collette, Joshua Sanchez, Ryan Steinhoff, Michael Kurjalak, James Nesta, Billy Brickley, Chris Chavez Essery, and Danny Carpenter back from there.
Trevor Baxter, another stage win in the books. Not backing down at all this season. Every time he's been in the race, it's definitely been the one to watch each and every week.
Yeah, he's missed a few races here, so I think this is honestly the first time this season that he has not been leading in, or has not won over half of the races. He didn't win Daytona, but then he won the next 2, and he has won at least half of the races in every race since. He has been absolutely dominant since his stretch of 5 wins through the month of March. And even though he's made less appearances recently, when he shows up, he still tends to win.
As the field continues to catch up to the pace car, get ready to come down for their pit stops. See if anybody does any pit stops. But let's take a quick commercial break here as the field gets caught up.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in the Door Racing League at Sonoma. Quarter of the way through the race, stage 1 has just ended, and your stage 1 winner, Trevor Baxter, will lead him out of the pits here over Alan Duggar in second as we get ready to start stage 2. We're going to have some shakeups out of pit road further back. Roland Collette has been in the pit box for a long time, 30+ seconds. And that's going to put him back to 4th. Ryan Steinhoff will come out 3rd. From there, it'll be James Nesta, 5th. Billy Brickley. Chris Chavez-Essery gets up to P7. I've got a couple more cars still in the pit, so we'll see who comes out. Oh, Baxter's just gone off the track, by the way. Under caution.
Oh, no.
He's still good. He didn't hit anything, but he took a little bit of a detour through the grass. Got it straight. He has no damage on it, but an interesting development for the 10 car. Maybe texting and driving, I'm not sure. Sanchez is out of the pits 8th. Then it's Carpenter, Bird, Danino, Freeman, Hyatt back through your field. Kurt Gillette has been in the pit box for a minute plus. I think he's fixing damage in that 41 car, so he'll be back out in 14th. Joshua Switzer, and then Reeves is still in the box. He'll be 16th. He should get out on the lead lap. Maybe? No. Michael Reeves is going to go a lap down here to Trevor Baxter as he is still getting it worked on. And Thomas Hagelin got a pit road penalty, so he has got a black flag, and he has gone from 1 lap down to 2 laps down. William Hewitt has been in the pits for 3 laps now, so that is for him 3 laps down. So, bit of a shake-up there on pit road. Some drivers getting penalties, some drivers getting lapped, some drivers having to stay in for a while to fix damage. It'll be a new look top 10 here as we get back green here in, believe, this lap.
We'll see what we do. Yes, I believe the pace car lights are off. So we are getting ready to come back to the green flag. Field is quite spread out. Looks like we only got 4 cars in line right now. You look just in the distance, here comes the rest of the field. Been pretty spread out since this caution break. Trying to get a quick caution here, get it right back under green.
We might need to do another lap here because we've got Danny Carpenter and Stephen Bird still 20 seconds back of your leader. There was a big variation in where cars came off pit road, so if we do go green this time, we're going to have about 7 or 8 cars restarting, which I don't think will be ideal. We'll see if race control decides to give us another lap here, or if we're just going to hope that Bird and Danino catch back up. It looks like they might be able to get here. And yes, we're going to add another lap onto the caution here to allow some of these drivers at the back an extra chance to catch up. So we will go back green on lap 20. The stage will be at 32. So with these caution laps, it'll be a little bit of a shorter stage for stage 2. I want to hear from you right now, Jeremy. Who is your pick to win tonight after what you've seen in stage 1?
Well, it'd probably be a no-brainer here, Sky, for me to not pick the number 10 of Trevor Baxter. But one driver that we've definitely been talking about all night long is that number 4 of Chris Chavez-Essery. And he is doing a good job marching through the field up to 7th right now. And this is a good example of how big of a lead Trevor Baxter had. They even completed their pit stops, and the field was still quite spread apart. So I do appreciate the race control giving us one more lap to get a couple more of these cars caught back up. But so much discrepancy, as you can see, the field was so spread apart.
I should have picked before I asked you to pick, because I was going to go Trevor Baxter. I think that is the very obvious pick here, and how he's dominated not just this race, but road courses in general this season when he's ran them. The only road course he made it to this year prior to this one was Coda, and he led every single lap and won. So he knows how to win at road courses. He might try to win again tonight. Other than that, maybe if he makes a mistake, Alan Duggar could have something for him. The winner last week at Chicago. He's won 2 of the races, of the 4 races that he's entered in door-to-door, including Chicago and Kansas. So that is a driver who knows how to get it done. And maybe he can find his way back to the field up to victory lane tonight. Two fun stats that I've seen. Alan Duggar in his 4 races has finished first, third, and fourth. Hasn't gone lower than fourth on that count. Trevor Baxter had a 13th at Kansas, who had some problems there, wasn't able to finish that race. Other than that, he was 5th at Daytona, and then he was first, second, third. So, dominating run this season for Baxter. We'll see if he can keep that podium trend alive as the pace car pulls in through the carousel, and on lap 21 here at Sonoma, we'll go back green.
Baxter with a great easy jump there, being a leader. You can see the field getting single file as quick as they can, try to get their positions filed out. So far, so good here through turns 1 and 3.
Side by side back here, big move up the inside for Joshua Sanchez, who's going to get loose immediately after doing it and concede that spot right back, not just to James Nesta, but to Chris Chavez-Essery, who's gotten up the inside of that 22 car for P7. We're door to door in that battle. Essery gets the spot for now as Sanchez is going to try a big dive around the outside. Nearly works for that 22 car, but he's not quite close enough, and now he's around in front of the field. Keep it straight, no contact.
Oh, one car still doing some off-roading right there. I think that's Kurgelak doing a great job avoiding that car that was sideways on the track. And whew, they do got one into the wall. I think that's Carpenter.
Joshua Switzer.
We had Carpenter with an issue as well.
Oh, we have 2 cars into the wall. Okay, Carpenter and Switzer both just nailed the wall simultaneously there. We're both right. We had 2 separate cars into the wall.
And Brickley down pit road as well.
We will see Carpenter first here. He just loses it, slides that rear end straight through the wall. That's that turn 10 I was talking about earlier. Not a passing zone, very much a mistake zone. It was a whole different wreck for Joshua Switzer, also through the S's. That was the one we caught there on camera, where he went head on into that tire barrier. He's going to try to keep it going, but I'm not sure how well he'll be able to do that. And yet you mentioned that Billy Brickley is in the pits as well.
Some pretty heavy damage. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm gonna try to find what happened to Billy Brickley there. Oh, he wrecked it through turn 10 as well. Same spot as Carpenter. You'll see it here. Instead of going rear first into the wall, he goes nose first into the wall on an overcorrection and a major hit. That is bad news for Billy Brickley.
That might do it for him, that's for sure. Dang. I think it's his cold tires. The drivers got so comfortable in that first run. Running on those hot tires, they kind of had a sense of comfort. Maybe not prepared for those colder tires on this restart. But a lot of big name drivers that were in the hunt to potentially win this with a mistake from Baxter. Unfortunately, their nights are ended with a mistake themselves.
Yeah, Danny Carpenter is out of the session, so he will be our second DNF tonight, following up Daniel Best in the 5 car out early in another accident in the S's. That has been the problem zone this race. Everybody's been through this uphill perfectly clean all night, and the S's have just consumed race cars time in and time out. And Joshua Switzer is going to go into the pits now, so he will try to get that damage fixed and forfeit a spot on the lead lap.
Hagland, one of those drivers that had trouble earlier on in the race, he's able to jump a couple spots with some of these drivers having their misfortune. So Hagland, 2 laps down, trying to march back and get some of those spots. As you look right here, as Kurgelak makes the pass on Freeman. That puts Kurgelak into the 9th position, trying to make a march back towards the front.
Yeah. Kurgelak has had to drive through a lot of the field as well, because he took a lot of damage repair on that last pit stop. Over a minute in the pits. Spent a long time getting that car back out. I think he was the last car back out, but he's gotten it rolling here from 9th, or up in 9th after being in 14th, I believe, when we went back green. Chavez-Essery has continued his drive through the field. He's gotten around James Nesta. He's got that car up into the top 5 right now. Tied with Thomas Freeman for most positions. Picked up this race. That car is a rocket ship, and it's going to the front.
Like that number 4, we've been keeping a note on it all night. Right now, running a 1:15.46. Faster than the 2 cars in front of them. So right now, podium speed for the number 4 of S-Ray.
Yeah, he is running quicker than everybody except Baxter and Duggar, and also, shockingly, second fastest car on the track last time, Joshua Sanchez has found some speed back there in that 22 car here on lap 24. So his lap times have been all over the place tonight. Sometimes he's on it and getting some of the fastest laps anyone's had all night, and sometimes he is struggling for grip. So the 22 is going to need to find a little consistency here if he wants to be able to hold position and try to continue to fight up here at the front of the field. And yeah, as I've said that, he locked up there through the final hairpin. So issues for Joshua Sanchez, marring what could be a top 5 night if he was able to get the damage fixed and able to run some more consistent lap times. Because he had a moment there on that last lap. I believe he did go around. Yes, he did. Had a moment through the S's, clipped the tire barrier, and that cost him back to 12th in that 22 car.
Gotta keep all 4 tires on the track tonight. That's been the name of the game. Some of these drivers not having that much of an issue, like the number 12, or excuse me, number 10 up here at the front is Trevor Baxter. Number 9 of Roland Collette. Been running in the top 5 all night long. Look at the lap times right now, just a little bit off this run right now compared to the Baxter machine. We'll keep an eye on that. I thought Roland Collette was running a little bit faster than the leader last run. Now finds himself up into 3rd.
So I've been keeping an eye here on the incident point ticker as the race has progressed. Trevor Baxter, the 22 at Joshua Sanchez might be done. He just had the nose go flying off that car. It's now back on. Something happened there with iRacing Internet. I think he actually clipped the pit road entry barrier via netcode, and it thought he had hit it when he maybe didn't. I'm not sure. Weird iRacing netcode stuff going on for an already damaged 22 car. I was gonna say, we've only seen Trevor Baxter off track once tonight. He only has 1 incident point for an off track, and it was under caution. He's been perfect under green.
And going back to that real quick, thinking of that, you know, under caution going off the track, you gotta remember these cars are extremely hard to turn under lower speeds. So I mean, not out there hustling it as hard as you would normally under green. It's kind of hard to get these cars to turn with that newer style rack and pinion. We'll look right now here in 4th, Ryan Steinhoff, almost into the clutches of that Chavez Essery machine. Right now has got a gap of 2.5 and closing over 5th place.
Yeah, well, Essery was 1.7 seconds faster that last time around, so that gap for the 4 car has really started to close here throughout stage 2 as Chris Chavez Essery starts to pull his way up there to P4. You know, battle brewing right now for P7. Stephen Bird has caught up to the tail end of Paul Danino and has given that 150 car some problems for P7 on the racetrack right now. A little bit wide there for the 26. He's not able to get the spot, and he will lose a little bit of time, but that battle is still the closest one on the racetrack here. There you go, Stephen Bird and Paul Danino in the 26 and the 150. Been going at it for a couple laps.
You know, in that 150, like we said earlier in the broadcast, making his debut here in the Door Racing League, having a decent night, running right there in the 7th spot. Let's keep an eye on him, see if he can capitalize on a couple more spots here throughout the race. Man, these drivers are just sending it hard as, Danino, broadcaster's jinx right there. Almost loops it around on the exit of 11.
Hey, he did loop it around there. He'll fall back to 9th. It'll hurt his tires, but it won't give him any damage. So the worst case scenario is averted there for Paul Danino. He'll still get stage points if he holds it where he is, but not ideal for that 150 car. Michael Kurgelak has now gone up to the back of Stephen Bird. So that'll be the battle here, 7th and 8th on the racetrack. Kurgelak, oh, he's loose off the corner, has to slam on the brakes to keep that thing straight, and he'll lose a lot of speed. Battle going for 3rd as well. Ryan Steinhoff is up to the back end of Roland Collette for P3 as those two cars head down through the S's. See if he can make a move here down into the carousel.
Got to make those passes when you can at those moments, because like we said, there's a lot of spots. This is one of them right here that you can only make just passes at turn 11. You can send it in there just hard enough to catch the driver in front of you off guard. You can make that pass, but Collette doing a good job of holding off Steinhoff. Kind of almost rhymed a little bit right there, not gonna lie. Holding off Steinhoff.
There you go. So rhymes are all you really need here on a broadcast to sound super professional. Steinhoff still have a second back. While this is going on, Chavez Essery is actually gaining a little bit. Caught up about half a second there on that last lap, so it's not like he's straight in this fight waiting for someone to make a mistake, but he is definitely cutting chunks out of this gap. He's going to get there right around lap 32, which is the end of stage 2, so if he wants to get himself a couple extra stage points, finish up in 4th, he's going to need to make that move pretty quickly on Steinhoff. Starting to fall back off the rear end of Collette. Battle for 8th, we're side by side between Kurgelak and Bird. And Kurgelak will get the move done over Stephen Bird. He'll take P7.
Pit road is now closed. I don't see any drivers that were able to make any flips of the stage to try to do something to get themselves up to the front. So everybody stayed on the same strategy as our leader. Here, coming to the closing of our second stage, Stephen Bird right there, and the Bird Automotive number 29 machine, excuse me, 26, got my number flipped over, trying to get to the back bumper of Michael Kurgelak and grab one more point here towards the end of the stage.
Yeah, battle's starting to form here in a couple spots over the racetrack. That is one of them. We've also got a little bit of racing going down for P10. Trying to start going. Joshua Sanchez has gotten within a second of Joshua Hyatt, who himself has gotten within a second of, or who has been gotten within a second of, I should say, by Thomas Freeman. Although a mistake for Hyatt up the hill is going to let Joshua Sanchez get right up to the bumper of that car. So we're about half a second separating two cars for the last stage points position here. As we run down the laps in the first stage, Joshua Hyatt and it's Joshua Sanchez for P10 and for P11. Sanchez is right there.
Sanchez all over the back number of that number, all over the back bumper of the number 2 of Hyatt. One little slip of Hyatt right here, and the Sanchez machine could have that final point in 10th position.
Yeah, we're watching Stephen Bird go around right now, pretty comfortably in P8 here, as the stage starts to come to a close.
Sanchez.
And we cut back to him. Sanchez is head on into the wall. A lot of black smoke out of that car, but seems like he's dodged the worst of it. I've said it a couple times tonight. Sanchez has a ton of speed in that car, but he can't keep it going the right direction. And that is a great example of that.
Talk about broadcasters jinx. Right as we flip the camera to him, the poor guy spins it out. It was like a banana came out as soon as the camera panned right to him.
Yeah, I got that Mario Kart effects going on right now on Maconi Entertainment.
Sorry about that, Josh.
Maybe a car off track there, but I think we're all doing good. I think it was a lap car, and there goes the stage caution. That is a lap earlier than I think we were expecting it to come out, but it has just come out as Trevor Baxter has crossed the line to take lap 32, and he will win stage 2. We're still racing for positions further back here, but I think they're going to freeze the field. And it'll be Alan Duggar, Roland Collette, Ryan Steinhoff, Chris Chavez-Essery, James Nesta, Michael Kurgelak, Stephen Bird, Paul Danino, and Joshua Hyatt. And we are going to send it to a quick commercial break here on Maconi Entertainment. When we come back, we'll have the pit stops and the final stage. Stay tuned.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here in the Door Racing League from Sonoma, getting ready to start Stage 3 here at this historic California Speedway. On pole right now is Trevor Baxter. He is in first. He's led every lap, started up front, and he's going to try to lead every lap for the rest of this race to go lights to flag here at Sonoma. Alan Duggar will go from third. Brian Steinhoff fourth. Chris Chavez-Essery is fourth. Michael Kurgelak's gotten back up to the top 5, running in P5, not P5. James Nesta, Paul Danino, Stephen Bird, Joshua Hyatt, and Thomas Freeman are 6 through 10. And Roland Collette, who was rolling in third for most of that run, is going to come out last on the lead lap here. So he is going to lose a lot of positions under this caution flag, and he's fixing some damage on that 9 car. He's going to have to drive back up to the top 3 from P12.
We'll keep an eye on that battle as the field's getting caught back up to the pace vehicle. Looks like the lights are off. This Porsche-like pace car putting out lightning fast caution laps. So we shall see if we decide to go one more lap, just in case the field still waits to get caught up.
Looks like we've got everybody except some of the lap cars, Sanchez and Collette, caught up, but we might do another here on what will likely be the last or second last if we do another caution lap of the race here tonight. As mentioned, Sanchez is 11th there, Collette's 12th, and then got a bunch of cars laps down. Here are some issues. Thomas Hageland has gone 3 down, Michael Reeves 4, William Hewitt 6, Joshua Switzer 8, and Billy Brickley 9. They're all still on the track. And then Danny Carpenter and Daniel Best, the 2 Dans, are our 2 DNFs here tonight.
Excited for this restart here, Sky. Drivers know this is the final restart of the race. They're going to be desperate for those positions. Here we go.
Yes, they will be. Going to be a lot of moving and shaking here as it's the same front row we've had all night, but a whole different look behind them. Trevor Baxter, Alan Duggar, and it's a great jump for Baxter once again as we take the green flag here at Sonoma.
Steinhoff with a good restart there, comfortably in third. Kurgelak doing pretty decent there in fourth. Look no farther though, Chavez Esri, there in fourth. Paul Danino making his debut is in sixth.
We're single filed out right now, looking entirely through your top 10 at the present moment. Still working a little further back here. You've got that 4-car of Chris Chavez Esri trying to pull his way back up through the field. He has dropped to 5th, like you said. Kurgelak is around that 4-car 4P4. And he'll look to try and charge back up as he's been doing all race. He is still your race biggest mover tonight as we're single file all down here through the S's. Pretty courteous restart there.
Like I said, a little bit of give and take to those non-passing zones. Here we go into turn number 11. Oh, we got 1 car off the track. Back on the track, no harm, no foul. Trevor Baxter still holds that lead. Just about a half a second over Duggar. Steinhoff there in third, just 1 second back from the 2 leaders. We'll see what Baxter is doing here on this final stint of the race. Maybe hold on to those tires a little bit longer right here, then just light it off when we get closer to the end. I believe we are good to the end. I'm not sure if we need to pit. I'll let you confirm that.
I believe we will need to pit because it's 85% fuel. I think we are going to see pit stops here. Likely at least for fuel some point before the end of this stage. So you've got to be perfect on that green flag pit stop as Duggar has found like a 6th gear here in this car, and he is right on the back of Trevor Baxter, a place he really hasn't been all night. He's been running about 2 or 3 seconds back from that 12 car on all of these short runs, but right now, Alan Duggar has it going in that 15.
Remember, if you're new to this broadcast, this is open setups. These drivers can make setup changes under these caution breaks and pit stops. So we'll see if maybe Duggar found something just right on this final caution break to maybe get a good adjustment, get him just a little bit closer. And with 1 more stop in the horizon, or on the horizon, excuse me. Let's see if he can make another adjustment to be just that much faster. As you can see here, Baxter's starting to pull away just a little bit.
Yeah, we're over halfway through this race now at Sonoma. About 35 laps more to go, and Duggar is still there trying to get that spot away from Trevor Baxter, but he's now starting to slip back. Baxter was 0.2 quicker last time around, and that was what we would consider maybe a below average lap for Trevor Baxter this race. So Duggar's going to do his best, but Baxter has been lights out all night long. At the moment, it's looking like that will continue. Roland Collette is back into the pits. He's got a lap down now. He might go 2 laps down by the time he makes it out of your pits. Issues for your driver who was running in the top 3 for so much of tonight and is now going to finish, at best, it looks like 1 or 2 laps down.
Sky, we talked earlier in the broadcast about the temperature of the track being 107 degrees. It is now down to 97. So maybe, I don't know if that's another factor that might be helping out the Duggar machine.
Yeah, we're getting later into the day here, so these tires are going to wear a little less as the track starts to cool down. Maybe Duggar has it set up a little more for a cooler track here. Just trying to keep it going. One thing that has not calmed down is the wind. Still whipping at 15 miles an hour. Throwing these cars off balance. Oh, there's major issues for Roland Collette. He just crashed into the pit road exit wall. There is some kind of severe technical issue on that 9 car. And he's kind of stopped in the middle of turn 1 now. It almost looks as though his wheel is just not on at certain points. Again, this was your driver who was running in 3rd. Was running in 2nd at points for much of this race. His car just goes straight as it leaves the pits. Just dead straight out here.
Oh, yeah, definitely having some technical issue there.
Yeah. He's got some major technical issue, and that is the end of at least any chance of being competitive, maybe the day, for the car who we thought might have had a shot to get second away from Alan Duggar.
The top two right now running lap times very, very close. 1:14.84 for the leader, 1:14.87 for second place, so just a few thousands, hundreds off.
And we're going to try to reach out to Roland here and see what his issue is in that 9 car that's caused him to go 3 laps down here. As your battle for the lead stays pretty close. I am impressed with the speed of Alan Duggar here in the early part of this stage, because he has not let Trevor Baxter get away from that 12 car at all tonight. He's still right there. That gap was a couple seconds here earlier on in the stage 1 and stage 2, but Duggar was at least in the fight. If Baxter had a mistake, Duggar would be able to pounce. Now he is right up, sitting about half a second back, as he has been for this entire stage so far, and he's trying to ruin the lights to flag run of Trevor Baxter here. Started on pole, led every lap. Alan Duggar wants to change that.
With this final pit stop on the horizon, we'll see what these drivers decide to do. If the tire wear has been enough, or if they think tires are going to be mandatory to get them to the end of this run, or if they feel like just a splash of fuel to get them to the end is going to be the key to get them there. Well, these leaders right now are putting on a great show, and Duggar is not holding back. He has just closed that gap again this lap.
Oh yeah, he is there. Big run down the hill for Alan Duggar. As we hit 32 to go, he'll pull to the inside, and Trevor Baxter takes a peek there. Not gonna work, but that is the only threat we've seen to Trevor Baxter's dominance all day. Alan Duggar is on it right now, heading down the hill through the S's. He is right there.
One small, tiny slip up out of that number 10 machine of Baxter. I'd say it'd be all over him, but he already is all over him. Here comes into the next passing zone of turn number 11. How deep will Duggar go?
We'll find out. Looks like he'll run it a little carefully, but he'll do a bit of a wide entry there, maybe trying to set up a faster exit and some kind of move down into turn 1. He's certainly got better speed exiting the corner than Trevor Baxter. Was 2/10 quicker that lap than the 12 car. Alan Duggar is there up the hill. Not a great corner there, though. Baxter will prevail as we head into turns 3 and 4. It's all Trevor Baxter right now. Big exit out of the corner for the 12 car. Oh, problems for Chavez Essery. He's come down the pit lane.
Oh,
Fuel
no.
only for the 4 car.
Okay.
So
all
maybe
right.
a strategy call
Here it
there.
is.
Maybe thinks he's good to the end. He'll come down, put fuel on it, and see if he can make it to the end of this race.
This is an extremely great call too there, Sky, because he is now on the track with absolutely no traffic. He can run his qualifying lap times if he wants to right here. With nobody around him, nice and smooth, get back up to speed. We'll see if this strategy works. I talked about it just a few laps ago. What is the strategy going to be to win it? We'll see if this works out for Essery.
Yeah, definitely getting off strategy there. I'd imagine that is a scheduled pit stop, coming down for 6 seconds of fuel and then pulling it back out. He thinks he can make it to the end of the race on that stop and get back out and contend for the win here, hopefully, if he plays his cards right after that. So we won't be seeing much of him for the next 10 or 20 laps, but by the end of this thing, he'll be right back in the fight, as Duggar has not left the fight. And now he's going to maybe have the inside on Baxter. He'll think better. He'll back out. Not really a passing zone through here. However, once we head down the hill to turn 4, that is a passing zone. These next 2 corners are. Will Duggar be able to get something going? Not through 4. We're going to skip 5 and 6. This is turn 7, and now he's got the move. Alan Duggar to the inside of Trevor Baxter, but it's not enough. Great speed for the 12 around the outside.
Alan Duggar is putting the heat all over the back of Trevor Baxter in this number 10 machine. We're going to have to find out very quickly if maybe Baxter is just trying to save some tires, knowing he might be going to the end of the race. But Alan Duggar says, I'm not saving anything. Oh, it gets a little tight there out of number 10. Not going to have anything for Baxter coming to 11.
No, and if he wants to get the move, he might need something coming to 11 because that is the best passing zone on this racetrack. You've got a couple, really. Turn 4, turn 7, and then turn, I believe that's 12 down there in the carousel are the big passing zones around here, and the rest of the racetrack, Duggar is just trying to slowly fight his way closer. A wider entry there through turn 1, hoping to maximize speed on the exit, and that he has. He's right up to the bumper of Trevor Baxter through 1 and 2. We'll see what he can do down here through this battle. Nothing there in 4.
Oh man, Duggar is just trying to figure out which way is going to be the best way to set this number 10 machine up and make that pass happen. This is pretty exciting if you're in my book because I know how dominant Trevor Baxter is. Honestly, I don't think I've done a broadcast where the Baxter machine that's been on the track has had a battle like this before. So Duggar putting on one heck of a good show, just trying to stay within striking range of Baxter. We look back though, right now in 3rd place as this battle has kind of cooled off a little bit for 1st and 2nd. 3rd and 4th is kind of like almost like a copy and paste for the battle for those positions.
Yeah, Steinhoff and Kurgelak are starting to get a little close back there. We're going to have a quick break in the action here in this tight, intense battle for the lead. And while that's going on, I do want to call up into the booth for a real quick mid-race interview. We're going to talk to Roland Collette here in the 9 car. Roland, how you doing? You got a copy?
Good, how are you?
So first I want to know what happened to you there towards the kind of stage 3 start. We saw you go straight into the pit wall. Were you having some sort of tech issue?
Well, I think it was stage 1 or into stage 2 where I hit the wall before you get to the hairpin, and my throttle got hung. And I had to get out and fix that issue, and now it's fixed, so back on track, see what I can gain a couple more spots if I can. But yeah, I think when I hit pit wall, I hit the throttle and it registered again, and it crunked the car up and hit the pit wall with me not in it. So trying to fix that issue.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the race here. You'll come out in 14th right now, and hopefully you can get a couple extra spots.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much for willing to do an interview with us. That was Roland Collette, currently running 14th on his issue earlier on in this race. Battle for the lead is still going there. It was down at about 0.2 of a second in the hairpin, now back up to 0.5 a second as Duggar continues to joust with Trevor Baxter up front.
Duggar backed off a little bit right there. Last time by was still faster than the leader. We look right there at, that was Michael Kurgelak. It's okay. That was Michael Kurgelak right there in 4th. Keeping an eye on him. He's currently running lap times faster than the Steinhoff machine. As we continue to watch this battle up towards the front of the field, looks like Duggar and Baxter now on pit road. Our leaders are on pit road.
Yes, they are. Both of those cars are in. I assume Duggar saw Baxter come down and just decided he was going to follow him in, do the exact same thing, going down there into the corner. We will see. I'm assuming these stops are going to be fuel only here for both of these drivers, but we will find out what these cars are doing. Let's see, Duggar will hit the box first, but they'll come in nearly simultaneously, synchronized stops into the pit lane for your top two. Oh, Duggar's gonna put tires on it. Baxter goes fuel only, and that 12 car is gonna be rolling into the sunset.
Yep, I don't think that's gonna work for Duggar. We'll have to keep an eye on lap times, but that's a major loss of time there for Duggar. We'll see how they all get straightened out here shortly.
Yeah, the exact number there is a 10-second faster pit stop between Baxter and Duggar. That's going to put Duggar out all the way behind Chris Chavez-Asari, who, by the way, has played this perfectly because he is within a pit stop of everybody up in front of him. I think Chavez-Asari will actually cycle back around to second once Steinhoff and Kerjelek pit. So, great strategy call for the 4-car. Not so great strategy call, at least how it seems for Alan Duggar. Maybe the tires are wearing, maybe he thinks 4 sets of tires will give him a 10-second advantage here over the course of the run, but right now, it's all up for debate. He needs to do something to get off strategy as Baxter gets up to 5th around Nesta, and Paul Danino is the next car into the pits.
Keep an eye on that gap right now. It is just about 9 seconds. We'll see what the clean track now for Duggar does.
Yeah, that is going to be a question, is what is Duggar able to do here? I don't think he really is that clean of a track because he's got Chavez-Asari in front of him and he's got a bunch of slow cars, like slower cars like Hyatt and Nesta up here. So, yeah, this is all going to come down to strategy on if this ends up working. Baxter's going to pass Thomas Freeman there. He'll get up to 3rd, and he is the first car who has pit. Steinhoff and Kerjelek in front of him. Neither of them have come down. And it's 8 seconds separating Baxter and Duggar, as now Steinhoff is into the pits, and so is Kerjelek. So your top 2 have both brought it down pit road here. And that is going to cycle Trevor Baxter back around to the lead. And I think it'll cycle Asari up there with him.
Sorry that one of the drivers that pit right away as soon as that pit window was open. Definitely worked out in his favor to jump a couple spots.
Yeah,
should finish on the podium.
He should get past both Steinhoff and Kerjelek. It looks like maybe no. Steinhoff will make it out in front of that 4-car. Really quick pit stop for the driver of the 74 to keep it out there. But Kerjelek will go behind him. So it looks like Chavez-Asari will come out in 3rd. The issue for him, though, is that Alan Duggar has taken off like a rocket and is now within only about half a second of that 2-car, and then another second of Chavez-Asari up there. So he might have some threats from behind here pretty quickly.
I will say he is the fastest car on the track, but making these passes quick is definitely going to have to happen as the race is winding down, and kind of a pretty big gap right now. It's down to 7 seconds, but does he have enough time with about 24 laps to go? Oh, the 29 of Nesta was sideways there out of 10.
Yeah, lost spots to both Duggar and Chavez-Asari, and Duggar will get that 4th spot, prevailing over the 4-car of Chavez-Asari. We got 1 car ahead of him who has pit in Steinhoff, the leader in Baxter, and then 1 car who has not pit. Thomas Freeman is playing the very long game here. He's the only car in the top 5 that has not brought it down at the moment.
Definitely you can see the difference with 4 fresh tires. The only downfall to that is nobody else took 4 fresh tires, so you got to pass them all. A lot of work there for Duggar ahead.
Yeah, the gap is closing. Maybe not as much as he would like. It's still about 7 seconds. He's going to need to be absolutely on it every time around here if he wants to get him. And he'll have a couple cars up the road because Freeman still has not pit, and then Ryan Steinhoff is up there in 2nd, and I think Duggar is pretty comfortably faster than that 74 car. There is a chance this strategy works out. I know when he did it, we immediately thought, oh no, what is he doing? But while tire wear hasn't been that much, and while the track time is also going down, meaning that there's going to be less tire wear as the race goes on, it might be 7 seconds worth, and Alan Duggar might be able to get up there. The issue is, though, he is having to pass some cars who are definitely not on 4 tires and are definitely not as quick as him, and that is costing him a lot of time, even as his laps are in clean air faster than Trevor Baxter's. The more time he spends behind Thomas Freeman, the more he's going to have to work. He's lost a full second stuck behind the 17 car.
Yep. time is running out now for that Duggar machine. Not getting that pass done very quickly.
Well, it's another
Looks like
half a second.
He's going to be there side by side, but unfortunately, I think the official damage might have been done already.
Yeah, he lost a second and a half just trying to get around Thomas Freeman there. That's part of the issue with doing this strategy is you can really struggle to pass these cars. And now, like, he's that second and a half out that he had spent the entire last, what is it, 6 laps since he pit trying to make up. So that's going to be a big hurt to that 15 car. 1.1 back of Steinhoff, and he'll have to do it all again.
We'll see how quick he makes work of the number 74. Steinhoff got there extremely quick. Going to have to maybe take another lap around here and make that pass. We'll see if he can get him here going into 5.
We will see. He's catching him in another bad section of the racetrack. He wants to catch these cars in the passing zones, in the downhills, and he is instead repeatedly catching these cars kind of on the entry to turn 1, and he's loose there in the 15 because he's got nowhere to make a move here. He's going to lose another second and a half stuck behind Ryan Steinhoff, and if the strategy wasn't over from the incident there with Thomas Freeman, it is 100% over because he can't pass Ryan Steinhoff, and he's going to lose another second and a half. And what was a 7-second gap is now a 10-second gap. It's all gone wrong on this pit strategy for Alan Duggar. He was relying on being able to make, he was relying on being able to make quick work of these cars, and he has not been able to at all. He's going to need half a second a lap here if he wants to get them.
Got a good drive through 10 there. I'd expect him to ship it down here at number 11. He'll be side by side with Steinhoff. All right, now this should be able to give us a good opportunity to see what his lap time is with no traffic.
Yeah, I just can't imagine it's going to be enough because Baxter is putting in some elite lap times right now. Trevor Baxter ran a 1:14.344. It's only 0.4 of a second off his fastest lap of the entire race. If Alan Duggar wants to win this race, he needs to go half a second faster than Baxter every lap, meaning he's going to need to be running about the fastest lap of the race every lap if he wants to get Baxter, and that is a very tall order for the driver of that 15 car.
There's a half a second right there.
Yeah, he's going to get it there. We'll see if he loses it here in an upcoming corner, if he's able to hold that. If he does have a ton of speed, he might get him, but yeah, you see he's already losing that gap back as we head back down the hill. He might pick up half a second here on an okay lap by Baxter, but he needs to push for 20 straight laps, no brakes, all out if he wants to try and get this spot. We'll see what he can do.
Got a lap car to deal with here real quick. Hopefully a lap car gives him some space. Shouldn't affect this lap time. Yes, he'll give him all the room. Great job by Thomas Heitland to get right out of the way.
Yeah, Baxter had a lap car up there as well, and William Hewitt on that lap. We'll see what Duggar goes. He's 0.7 quicker there, ran a 1:14.3. That is the kind of pace he needs if he does want to get Baxter. Baxter had not a great lap there, was a second off his best, was about 0.6 off the lap I was talking about last time around. So we'll see how it works out as we are under 20 to go here at Sonoma. Alan Duggar is doing absolutely all he can to catch up to that 12 car, but only time will tell if he's doing enough. More problems for Joshua Sanchez. Not problems, excuse me. He is just making a very late scheduled green flag pit stop. He is one of 2 cars that have not brought it down pit road yet. He's the only car in the lead lap that had not brought it down pit road. He'll do so right now.
Getting the 4 tires and fuel strategy. Just to try to make sure he's got good speed here towards the end of this race. So we've been watching the battle up front, very close all night long. Now it's spread apart by 9 seconds. And I don't think there was much gain there that lap by Duggar.
No, I don't think there was. Sorry, I'm checking a replay. Something might have happened. Something did happen. James Nesta crashed out of the race a couple laps ago in the 29 car. Straight into a tire barrier going down through turn 10. and he has been stuck in the pits for the last 5 laps. I'm unsure if he'll be able to get it back out on the racetrack. That is likely the end of the night for James Nesta. And I think there was an issue for Joshua Hyatt as well while we were watching that battle for the lead. We're going to take another look at that here too while we're at it. No, Hyatt just made a very long, by very long I mean a 3-minute long pit stop and lost 2 laps as well. So we're down to 8 cars on the lead lap after a pit stop for Hyatt and a crash for Nesta that has lost him 5 laps.
Honorable mention right now is going to go to Thomas Hegland. Had that trouble at the beginning of the race. Right now finds himself in 10th spot. Even though he's 4 laps down, still chugging along.
Yep, and Joshua Sanchez will pull it out of the pits here. He will run P8, last car on the lead lap. There with Freeman and Danino running outside the top 5, but still in that lead lap position at the present moment. Duggar is just not getting it going. He is slower than Baxter, and he needs to be a lot faster than Baxter if he wants to get anything done.
I think Baxter did a pretty good job saving tires on the beginning of this run.
He absolutely did.
The stop and go on fuel was a 10-second faster stop, and right now it gives himself a 9.8-second lead. So still holding that. Right now we're looking at the number 150 of Paul Danino. Right now running in 6th spot, once again making his debut here tonight, having a decent run. Let's hopefully the commentator's curse does not show up now.
I like that paint scheme. It's kind of like he's thrown a sports car scheme onto the NASCAR there, kind of like a GT3 paint. Yeah, running that kind of GT3 styled car there. Got the 150. Oh, that is a crash. Who's that? That's Roland Collette. Bad to worse for the 9 car.
Roland Collette was just trying to survive. Bad to worse. Must have had another issue there. Take a look at the replay.
Yep, that is exactly what he did. Just a single car spin out here.
Oh, too much curb.
Yep.
Does he find the wall?
He does.
Oh, big hit to that left front.
That is going to be a race ender for Roland Collette. He has towed it back to the pits, and he has parked it. So that will be the end of the night for your 9 car. I think the other car down for the night will be Michael Reeves. He has been sitting in the pits for approximately 18 minutes and shows no signs of pulling it back out. So 00 will also be done for the night. 4 DNFs of your 19 car field here to start this race.
Looks like Brickley and Switzer there in 15th and 16th will be able to get around the number 9 who has just retired there for those positions.
Hey, we got a battle for 12th, 7 laps down right now between William Hewitt and Stephen Bird. That is the closest battle on the racetrack. It is 2 cars who are both 7 laps down, dueling. Hewitt has just made the overtake, and he's trying to get away from Stephen Bird in the 26 car, but he hasn't been able to do it because Bird is hanging out right on the bumper of the 11. This is, even though they are both 7 laps down, for position.
Crazy to think that we're 7 laps down back here and still got quite the battle going on. Bird seems to be losing just a little bit now towards this part of the run. Coming around to 13 laps to go once Trevor Baxter goes across the start-finish line here just momentarily as he goes through just these final couple turns. Trevor Baxter never looked in that rearview mirror, I think, when Alan Duggar was giving all that pressure. He knew what he had to do for his strategy. Duggar tried to do a different strategy and unfortunately did not pan out. But with these drivers having such quick lap times, I must say tire fall off wasn't as much as we thought.
No, it was not as much as we thought the fall off might be tonight. Especially with that track temp going down. It's already down to 92 degrees now, under 10 degrees. Cooler track temp compared to where we started this race, which I think has really helped with that tire savings. This is the only battle on the track here. It's the one for P12. It's closer than about 3 seconds. Chavez Esri, by the way, has passed Steinhoff for P3, so he's got in that position while we're watching this happen. He will roll third, but he's 12 seconds back of Alan Duggar, so looks like Chavez Esri will finish right in third. 15-3, though. Pretty good run.
That was one of the drivers we had been mentioning earlier on the broadcast that was putting on some really good lap times coming from the back. Right now finds himself in a podium spot with just a few laps to go, just over 10 to go in this race.
It is 15 to go. It's about 17 minutes of green flag racing, 17 and a half according to our timing software right here. As we continue to do this battle for position in P12. Bird has been following Hewitt around, and he was quicker last time around. Ran a 1:16.883 in comparison to a 1:17.152. Those are pretty competitive lap times, actually, for the middle of the pack here. So Bird is running pretty well, even though he's had issues that have prompted him to go 7 laps down. I would like to mention, fastest lap of the race, or fastest lap on track last time around, as we're battling here, and Stephen Bird will get the spot pretty easily over Hewitt. Fastest lap last time around, Joshua Sanchez in P7.
Sanchez, I think might have been
Hewitt's
one
got
of
it
those.
right back.
The 26, I think, gave him those positions because those drivers were battling for a position, I believe. The
Yes,
11 there.
Kurjalak. Oh, there goes Bird into the wall. I think he gave Kurjalak the spot, and Hewitt took advantage, and then Bird has crashed. So, kind of flew straight into the outside wall there, and that'll likely be the end of Bird's hopes at getting 12th.
Out for a Sunday drive, though, that number 10 of Trevor Baxter holding a 9.2 second lead over Alan Duggar. We saw Duggar got it all the way down to 7 seconds with those fresh tires at the beginning of the run, but unfortunately ran into some traffic and killed all that momentum. And these drivers, their lap times, or even with the open setups, are just so close. You got to really execute well when you have those tires fresh to begin with.
Yeah, that 4-tire call for Alan Duggar was simply not the right strategy for him in this race, and that is going to be ultimately what costs him the chance at the win here tonight.
Baxter's,
yeah, I was going to say, still get a 13 to go.
Baxter's just kind of out here on that Sunday drive. It's got to be smooth and steady from here on out. We've noticed Baxter makes little to no mistakes here each and every lap. So Duggar got it down to under 9 seconds. Oh, just keeps bouncing back and forth to that 9-second range. That's about how much time he lost on that pit road sequence, so that it equals out to just right.
Yep, Steinhoff is trying to close into a Chavez Esri here for third. This gap was at about 3 seconds not too long ago, but some mistakes from Chavez Esri have cut the gap back down, and now it's only at about a second there for Ryan Steinhoff, looking at the bumper of that 4-car of Chavez Esri up in front of him for the final interview here in the final spot on the podium tonight at Sonoma. We'll see the lap times. This is a really good one from Steinhoff. Good lap from Chavez Esri, but a great lap from Steinhoff to really cut that gap down and try to close in under a second.
It's one thing I've really enjoyed here both of these cars right here went off the track. There's this Door Racing League puts on some great racing each and every week, and you can see how clean the drivers are here tonight. A lot of give and take, as you can see, driving it down there to the bottom, making that pass look very easy.
He gets that no problems at all. Sorry lets him through, and Ryan Steinhoff makes his move up to P3 for the final spot on the podium here tonight. Steinhoff so far this season, like we mentioned it earlier, he's only got one start. Was the last week at Chicago where he brought it home third, so he's done pretty well here over the course.
Oh, we had a 22 was around in front of the leader. That was extremely close.
Yeah, we do. Joshua, And in true Joshua Sanchez fashion tonight, he ran the second fastest lap out of any driver on the track, and then through turn 3 next time around, spun out. He's very fast. He just can't keep the car moving in the right direction.
Here comes our leader. Watch this. Here comes the leader. Oh! Wow. If Baxter went to the left after the 22 decided to gas it up, that would have been disastrous for Baxter. That's the closest moment for our leader all night.
Yes, it would have been. He's lucky he was able to make it out of there with no trouble at all. If Sanchez is a lap down now. He got lapped right there. The pace that he has had, he would genuinely be fighting Baxter and Duggar for first and second. But he has had so many off tracks, hits to the wall, spins tonight that he just hasn't been able to do it. And that's got to be frustrating for that 22 car to know that you have the raw pace to be able to contend, but you don't really have the car handling or the consistency to be able to stay up there.
Another lap car right here in front of our leader. That's going to be the 9th running position of Joshua Hyatt. Hyatt already 2 laps down. This will put him 3 laps down. Gives way to the leader. Once again, another one of those great things about Door Racing League is the lap down cars understand their position on the track and do not, usually, most of the time, do not race the leader egregiously here towards the end of these races.
No, we've got some pretty courteous racing here. I mean, we haven't really seen too many issues. I don't really know if we've seen a true multi-car issue here all night. It's been very clean, as always, in the Door Racing League. This is definitely one of the better leagues on iRacing when it comes to clean driving, when it comes to courteous driving. You're going to get that out of everybody here. Everybody knows to expect some kind of clean moves here, and I think that really makes for a good series. As we are at 10 to go now, 9 to go as we cross the line for Trevor Baxter. Domination. He started on pole. He's led every lap. He's not only led every lap, I think he's led about every second, and he's going to lead the race.
Of course, Alan Duggar still running those lap times faster, but just too little too late. Even though he's having faster lap times, still just hanging out that 10-second mark now, and it's got to be frustrating to make that pit call and unfortunately watch that number 10 drive off into the sunset while you're still there waiting for your four tires to go all the way around.
Yeah, and it's really more of a consistency issue for Duggar, because right there, he was less than 1/100th of a second off the race fastest lap. The issue is 2 laps before that, he was 1.5 seconds off the race fastest lap. He's struggling to run consistent lap times here, which has really hurt his ability to catch Baxter.
Baxter comes around the start-finish line, clicks off another lap, and continues to now extend that lead over the Duggar machine. Steinhoff just being cool and courteous there in the 3rd spot.
Hey, by the way, Stephen Bird did end up getting 11th after all. He passed William Hewitt. Got in the wall. Oh, never mind. Bird is wrecked again. Oh, they both wrecked. They wrecked each other. And Hewitt is going to drive away from that battle. But they're still going to be going at it. There was a 2-car accident there between your racers for 11th, who are both 7 laps down. Bird basically just lost it here. You'll see it. He loses it. He pulls back on the track, and he just hits Hewitt as he tries to straighten it back out.
Oops.
And then Hewitt takes a detour through the grass, and we come out in yet another tight battle.
These two can't seem to get away from each other, literally.
No, and they both tried. We saw Bird lose about 3.5 seconds going straight into the wall earlier, and that's not even enough to end this battle. He is still there, still trying to chase down William Hewitt for P11, even though they're both 7 laps down.
Hard fighting right here. If you're near that cut line, you might need every position. If you're trying to battle for the regular season championship, you know, between other drivers, you want to make sure you have a good finish there, but it looks like William Hewitt is going to be on the winning end of this.
What do they say about iRacing? The cars aren't real, but the racing
I
is.
spoke too
There
soon.
goes Hewitt. Yep. The racing
Yep,
is real,
commentator's
and
jinx.
Hewitt is going to be really not happy about losing that battle.
I mean, we could probably have about 5 clips tonight of me saying, "Yep, commentators jinx." Man, I'm so sorry, drivers.
Yeah, Hewitt. Knowing how this battle has worked out over the last 8 laps, I'm expecting Bird to absolutely plow it into the fence here in about 4 laps, and they will somehow be side by side again by lap 68 or so.
Yeah, look no
Just
further
knowing
though.
how
Here
this
comes
has
that
worked
leader.
so far tonight. Hey, Kurjalak is trying to catch Chris Chavez Asari. That gap has closed down to about 2.5 seconds. He's not there yet. He might not get there before the end of the race, but he's trying, and that's what counts. Oh, car off track big time. Thomas Hegland is towed it back to the pits.
Oh, Hagland was doing so good.
This was... I'm honestly not sure what the issue was here. He missed the corner, went into the dirt, stopped the car, and immediately towed, so he might just be done.
Oh, leader sneaking by lap traffic. It was pretty sketchy there. Danino got into the grass really wide on that turn, but I believe that should do it there for our leader of Baxter.
I'll tell you
the
one
rest
thing
of the field.
One thing that has not helped Hegland is that I don't have a proper count on this, but he has had a number somewhere between a lot and a ton of off tracks this race. I don't think he's gotten close to the incident point limit, but I think with how this race has gone for him, he might just be pulling it into the pits here. He's already 10 laps down. He did lose positions there towing, in fairness. He lost a spot to Switzer and Billy Brickley. But yeah, he's 10 laps down, and it's not gone well for Hegland, and this late in the race, he might just be calling it quits. Hey, Kurjalek, that gap's down to 1.5 seconds for P4. He's trying to get there.
5 laps to go. What has Kurjalek got? He ran almost 0.8 of a second quicker that last time by.
He's got a ton of speed right now in that car, and he's trying to get the pace going to pass Chavez Essery here. It's going to be 5 to go for these two at the line. This is going to sound crazy because they're 4th and 5th, but they are your last 2 cars on the lead lap with the dominance of Trevor Baxter today. Maybe they'll shake up that order a little further. Kurjalak will put Chavez Asari back to 5th. Essery's been from 15 to 4, but he is not your biggest mover tonight. That is Thomas Freeman in the 17, who started out back in 20th, has gone to 8th. Also a big mover, despite being 3 laps down, Joshua Hyatt from 19 to 9.
A lot of drivers having, I mean, you could say decent nights after kind of having rough starts. Watching this Essery Kurjalak battle, put Steinhoff in the picture as well. Those Steinhoff, Essery, and Kurjalak all within probably about 4 seconds of each other.
Very much a tight battle between these cars as they're trying to get a little bit closer to each other towards the end of the race and maybe make a push for position or even for the podium here as we come down to the end of this thing. And William Hewitt has just crashed again. Yes, he has. Down through the S's, William Hewitt has spun, and that will, if the battle wasn't over before, absolutely put it over, because he has now fallen to 8 laps down, being pushed or passed by Baxter as he tried to get it turned back the right direction.
It's crazy to think that Kurjalak right now in the 5th position is our last car in the lead lap, but Baxter put on one heck of a clinic here tonight. Just got to go around 3 more times here very shortly. Can't wait to hear how Baxter's strategy all worked out in his favor.
Yeah, Baxter has just dominated here right now, and he's going to take 3 to go this time at the line. Be about 3.5 or so minutes left driving for that 12 car. Trevor Baxter to bring it home at Sonoma. 10 wins in 16 starts in 20 races for the 12 car. every single lap that Baxter has entered on a road course this year, he has also won in the Door Racing League. Should say every lap he's entered, he's led. That would be better phrasing. Every race he's entered, he's won.
It's a pretty crazy stat right there. Nothing anybody else can do right now but figure out what setups he's running, because he is definitely set up each and every week that he runs.
Yeah, he has had 2 off tracks, or excuse me, no, I'm looking at the wrong car. He's had 1 off track all race long, and it was under caution, as mentioned. We missed something about 5 laps ago. There was a pretty serious incident between Hegland and Kerjelak, and I think Kerjelak is extremely lucky to be in 5th after that accident. Speaking of Kerjelak being in 5th, despite that accident, he has caught right back up to the bumper of Chris Chavez-Essery, and that battle is now under a second here with 2 to go at Sonoma.
2 more times around for Trevor Baxter, making it look easy once again here tonight. He's going to pass 1 more lap car. Makes it easy through turns 5, 6, and 7. Coming around to the S's here for just a few more times. I don't know what it is that Trevor Baxter's got figured out, but the rest of the field has got to figure it out if they want to give him a run for his championship.
Yep, it's going to be the white flag here in just a second for that 12 car at Trevor Baxter. He'll roll down through turn 10. He'll head on through the carousel, and he has an 8-second lead at the moment over Alan Duggar in the 15 car. White flag for Trevor Baxter. This time around, it'll be 1 minute and 15 more before he sees the checkered here at Sonoma with an 8-second lead over Alan Duggar. It is his race to lose.
What an absolute clinic here tonight by that number 12 machine. Gonna collect himself another checkered here tonight. Duggar did start making some strides back into that lead just a little bit, but like we said, just too far away, and unfortunately this strategy did not work out there for Duggar. Steinhoff doing a great job there in 3rd. Gonna enjoy his great performance here tonight.
That he is. Baxter down through the S's now. Only a few more corners to go to get his 10th. Yes, you heard that right. 10th win of the season in the Door Racing League. We're worrying about other drivers getting double race wins. Baxter is getting double-digit race wins. It's 10 for Trevor Baxter as he heads down the start-finish line to win at Sonoma.
What a clinic here tonight.
Yeah. What a race for Trevor Baxter. Starts on pole, leads every lap, and wins the race by 8.3 over Alan Duggar, who I'm sure will be kicking himself that he came in for tires. We're still crossing the line back here, by the way, 3rd and 4th. Steinhoff, Essery, and Michael Kerjelak. None of them have crossed the line yet. It's going to be a big move for Steinhoff down into the hairpin. Oh, big move for Essery too, but he locked it up. Not able to get it. Ryan Steinhoff will take the last spot on the podium. Chavez-Essery half a second back in 4th, and Michael Kerjelak will bring it home in a 5th tonight. And as Baxter does his cool down lap, we're going to throw it to a quick commercial break here on Maconi Entertainment. When we come back, we'll have the results and interviews with Baxter, Duggar, and Steinhoff. Stay tuned.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We're back here at the Door Racing League from Sonoma. We're going to get your results here through the field. Your winner tonight, though, in dominating fashion, is Trevor Baxter. Following him up will be Alan Duggar. 50 seconds back, it's Ryan Steinhoff, Chris Chavez-Essery, and Michael Kurgelak. And then 1 lap down, it's Paul Danino, Joshua Sanchez, and Thomas Freeman. 3 laps down is Hyatt. 6 laps down is James Nesta.
And a few of the drivers that were left running, but also a few laps down there. Stephen Bird in 11th. 12th goes to William Hewitt. 13th, Joshua Switzer. 14th, Thomas Heigland. 15th, Billy Brickley. Ronald Collette is 16th. Michael Reeves comes home in 17th. Danny Carpenter, 18th. Daniel Best, 19th. Race Control, 20th. And Brian Wasserman, 21st.
That'll be the end of your race tonight, and we're going to go straight to our winner for an interview. We're going to call into the booth P1 tonight, Trevor Baxter. How you doing, Trevor?
Good. How about you, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. You took home your 10th win of the season here tonight. How's that feel?
Feels good. A long race. Didn't really know what we were doing, so kind of just kept going and kept turning laps. Ended up in the league. And
you brought it home
first. So.
You brought it home dominating fashion tonight. Started on pole, led every lap, and won by 8 seconds. How'd you do it?
Yeah, just running the pace on the first 2 stages. Didn't nobody undercut it. I think everybody was kind of trying to figure out where that pace car was going to be. It kept stacking everybody up way down in the field. So came to the 3rd stage, about 1.92 gallons to the bad. So I was trying to save fuel and save a little tire. I didn't know if we were going to take 4. I didn't know what Alan was going to do. So I couldn't get the gas to save it all. So I decided just to come down pit road, and I seen Alan follow me. I knew he'd probably take 4 tires. I wasn't sure if he was going to, but I figured he was going to, because that's what we've done in A Open or NIS all week. And I did notice the track temp had dropped, so I was like, I'm just going to try to take no tires, and we did that. Came out, run a little slow. I wasn't sure if I put enough gas in the car. I only put 1.8 gallons in. It was showing that I wasn't good, and then my average 5 laps ended up cycling over, and I ended up being about at 1.3 to the good. So then we started pushing. Track temp saved us tonight, because if track temp would have got up, 120, 130 where it's been in NIS, it's been in A Open. I think Alan would have caught us, and I think he would have beat us. But the track temp came down. We were able to maintain 113, 114 through the run. Alan stayed about 9.6 to 10, somewhere in that range, pretty much all the way to the last 2 laps. Felt confident we had the race won. Once I got 10 to go, I didn't think he could make up a second a lap. So, or second a lap over the last 10 laps. But it was a good race tonight. Had fun. Thank y'all for doing the broadcast. It was a long race, a lot of turning, and a lot of bumps.
Anyone you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, shout out Painted Magic on my car. You saw that. Saw the picture out there. Shout out to them too. Um, Big shout out to Ryko. Ken and Byron over at Ryko Motorsports, man. He's got the house drivers testing and putting these setups together. New tire model, new aero. He's dialed it in. Made us fast. Wouldn't be fast without him, so shout out to him. Thank him for all the tips and tricks he gives us to keep this thing rolling on the track. Shout out to Roland, man. Roland joined SBR this week. He's been doing good. He's got 3 or 4 wins in A Open NIS this week. Didn't finish the race tonight, but that's all right. It happens. He's learning. But shout out to him too. And one last shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for all y'all do for the broadcast. We appreciate it. And y'all have a good night.
You too, man. Congrats on the win, Trevor Baxter. Bringing it home P2 tonight is Alan Duggar, and Jeremy Briggs is standing by with him.
Yes, we are standing by with Alan Duggar, driver of the number 15 here. Man, you were all over the back bumper of Trevor Baxter in that last run. It looks like the pit call was a dagger in there. Did you think it was going to work, or just ended up making the wrong call?
No, I don't think I made the wrong call. I just knew I rode behind him too close, got in his dirty air, and I really cooked the tires there. So I just knew either way it went, I was going to get gapped like that either way, and I really didn't push the lap traffic and getting through traffic as good as I needed to.
We definitely put the pressure on Baxter to hopefully maybe get him to make a mistake, but for some reason he is just so smooth here each and every week. But Alan, we must say up here from the broadcast booth, it was extremely exciting to watch. You were definitely all over his back bumper. What was the racing like from your seat?
It's very tough to get around this place. It's I had to put a lot more effort into it this week than I did have to last week, but Trevor, he's a really good racer. He knows he knows what to do, and he rarely makes a mistake. Whether like I made a few mistakes tonight, but it's just awesome racing with these guys, just having fun.
Well, it was definitely like a blast up from the booth here tonight. Who do you have to thank for getting you home here in second tonight?
Oh, I think Nerve Gaming, Sonoma Sport, Ken Byron, and the guys over at Ryko. Again, fast setups all week long this week. Continuing to give it us fast setups, and thank y'all for putting on a great broadcast, and the guys at Door to Door. And that's it.
Awesome stuff, Al. Congratulations on second place. Hopefully we'll see you in the near future.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm going to be standing by here with Ryan Steinhoff in the 74, your third place finisher tonight. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. We saw some battles there with Chavez Essery, Kurjalak as well there in the final stage. How about trying to hold those two off?
That was a fun fight. I was all over the place at the end of that race. My tires were shot.
Yeah, tell us about the tire strategy, because we saw a couple cars come down and take 4, but it looked like no tires ended up being the play.
Yeah, I would say, to me, it was truly a 50-50. It could have been good or it could have been bad to take tires. And I went with the no tires just because to save time. But, at the end, when those tires are bad, Michael, who did take tires, he was only a couple seconds back. So, if I had some clean air with the fresh tires, probably still could have been where I was, but, yeah, who knows?
Well, you've been pretty good on the road courses here in this series. Second last week, third this week. But we're going to Dover and Indy the next 2 weeks. Are you going to be there, and how do you think you're going to do?
I definitely plan to be there. Whether or not I'll finish Dover, who knows? That is probably my worst track, and I tend not to finish most of the races I do there. So I'm hoping to get some extra practice in and not be a hazard out there, but I'll definitely try to be there.
All right, anyone you have to thank tonight?
I just got to thank you guys for the broadcast, the league owners for putting it on, and my buddy Chris, Mr. Chavez there. He's the one that designed our setups. We prefer to be building our setups and not buying them, so we take good pride in that. And to finish not 1, 2, 3, but in a row with each other was a pretty good sight to see.
All right, congrats on P3 tonight, Ryan Steinhoff.
Thank you.
And we mentioned it there in the interview, but next week will be Dover. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about that track.
Oh, yes. Miles the Monster. The 1 mile high banks of Dover Motor Speedway is going to be an absolute blast next week. It's going to be great to be back on an oval, of course. We had great racing here, side-by-side action, door-to-door action here at Sonoma, and I cannot wait to go to Dover where it's different lines, and boy, it is extremely tight off the exits.
Gonna be a fun one. Same time next week. Back again on Maconi Entertainment. If you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to like and subscribe to Maconi Entertainment as well. And you can see everything we do here, not just the Door to Door Racing League. For everybody at Door to Door and Maconi, for Jeremy and Christian and myself, Sky Shrek up here in the booth, this has been the Door to Door Racing League at Sonoma. Have a good night.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.